4. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Happy Saturday night, and welcome to the program. My name is Doc Watkins, and I'm joined tonight by Brandon Guerra on the drums and special guest bassist Daniel Durham. We've got a great night of music ahead for you. Our special guest is JazzTexas bartender and my own personal brother, Jimmy. He'll be on in just a minute, but first, let's have a look at the JazzTexas news. Love in the Time of Corona, a new Freeform and Hulu series that takes us into the love lives of 4 different households during the pandemic, premieres next month. To keep the series realistic, there will be numerous scenes of couples making love 6 feet apart or on Zoom calls while covering themselves in hand sanitizer. After 81 years, the New York Times will no longer include daily TV listings in its print editions. This comes as horrible news to all the paper's elderly subscribers who won't be able to find the latest episodes of Murder, She Wrote. In honor of Warren Buffett's 90th birthday, Bill Gates, the second richest man in the world, showed off his baking skills by making a video of himself baking the Buffett. The 4th richest man in the world, a chocolate and vanilla cake with Oreo frosting. Read all about it in the newest issue of More Reasons to Hate Billionaires. The Los Angeles Dodgers broke baseball's all-time record for most home runs in a calendar month by hitting their 57th home run against the Texas Rangers. Meanwhile, the Houston Astros set an all-time record this month for most stolen signs gained by banging on trash cans. And finally, actress Hilary Swank, who transformed herself to play a transgender man in Boys Don't Cry and a boxer in $1 Million Baby, will play an astronaut in the upcoming Netflix series Away. If this goes well, Swank's giant teeth will transform themselves into starring in the remake of the talking horse, Mr. Ed. That's it for the JazzTexas News. Well, we'll get to the music in just a moment, but first, let's have a toast to all those tuning in this evening. Welcome to JazzTexas, especially to those of you who have ordered cocktails from our bar or food from our kitchen. Thank you so much for doing so. Happy Saturday night. It's so good to be with you all now. And so here's to many more years of JazzTexas music, food, drinks, and friends. Cheers, everybody. The first song we'd like to play, we're going to take you back a little bit in time, about 9 months ago here at JazzTexas, and we'd like to do a Christmas song, believe it or not, but we feel that this is a tune that's perfect for all time and year-round by the great Vince Guaraldi from A Charlie Brown Christmas, called Christmas Time Is Here. That's Daniel Durham on the bass solo. Christmas Time is Here by Vince Guaraldi. We'd like to give a big shout out to our production crew here at Jazz Texas on the audio production. That's Caitlin Hill. And on the video production, you know him, Chris Zients. With Wizard Broadcasting. Also, we'd like to thank KRTU 91.7, our media sponsor, for all that they're doing during these times to support Jazz Texas, one of the greatest jazz stations on the planet. Make sure and tune in to KRTU 91.7. We'd like to do a swinging standard for you now. This is one of the great jazz tunes of all time entitled, Have You Met Miss Jones? That's Brandon Guerra on the drums, Daniel Durham on the bass. Have you met Ms. Jones? Well, ladies and gentlemen, my special guest this evening is JazzTexas bartender, former Oregonian all-state center fielder, and in case you didn't know, he's also my brother from the same mother. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the program my brother Jimmy. Jimmy, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being on the show. So, you are a bartender here at JazzTexas.
I am.
And I've known you your whole life. I'm your older brother, so you haven't known me your whole life. But nevertheless, before we get into bartending, let's talk about baseball.
Okay.
So you were an all-state center fielder in high school 2 years in a row. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I love baseball, and I love talking about it in any aspect, honestly. And I know you and I have talked a lot recently about the Astros. You know, everybody else is forgetting about it. I won't. Yeah.
So I want to talk about the Astros because I already lived in Texas when you were in high school, and you crushed it out there, playing for South Medford High School, our hometown.
Oh yeah.
2 years in a row, all-state center fielder. But you have some strong opinions on the Houston Astros, and I want to talk about those because we've been telling Astros jokes for a long time, and I know our good buddy Ross. And Ross, if you're not listening, if you're not watching to the program right now, I'm going to text you later on and just, tear you a new one because you better be tuning into the show because I know you have your own opinions on, cheating in baseball, and it's, all part of the game. Cheating's always been a thing, but you have your own opinions. So let's like dish it out right now. Just like Kawhi Leonard, we're going to talk about the trash cans and the Astros. What do you think?
I think it's awful. I mean, again, cheating, I mean, that really doesn't fall under gamesmanship that with cameras and stuff like that. Everybody's always trying to get a leg up, but that's beyond the pale right there. That takes it way too far. And I am glad to see a lot of the, stars in the MLB kind of come out against that and say that they just think these guys are just awful cheaters. They don't have any respect for them. I think that'll be a funny thing if any of these guys end up changing teams, how the clubhouse atmosphere is going to be with these new guys that nobody respects for, cheating their way to a World Series. So yeah, it's I got too much to say about them.
So is cheating acceptable in Major League Baseball to any degree? And if so, where's the line?
Well, I mean, I suppose it depends on how you define cheating.
Is it okay to put some Vaseline on your hat to kind of grease the ball a little bit and throw a certain pitch? I mean, that's been going on for a long time. Is that okay?
I honestly don't even know how I feel about a lot of that. I'd say probably no. I really don't care for any of that, competitive advantage crap. But I don't know. Again, with the whole knowing what pitch is coming, that's just a whole different animal. I mean, I think it was there's been a lot of pitchers coming out saying that they would much rather be throwing to the guys, in the 90s, which I want to say it was Bob Costas put in the Ken Burns documentary, guys that looked like they were blown up by bicycle pumps. They'd much rather be...
The Reuters?
They'd much rather be, pitching against those guys than somebody who knew what was coming, That's just a whole different thing, and yeah.
Did you ever cheat in baseball at all?
Oh, of course, no.
Did you never?
No, I mean, it's high school. What can you do, really?
But if you were a pitcher and you had the opportunity to cheat, would you have taken it if you could have, a corked bat or something like that? Is that okay?
No, not at all. No.
No?
No, I don't. Yeah, there's nothing like that.
What about the White Sox fix of 1919? Was that okay?
No, not at all.
Okay, all right.
That was, and yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on that one too. But
yeah. So the Astros. So. You're a proud Texan now, living in San Antonio for the last several years, working at JazzTexas here from day one, and the Astros are right next door, and you are anti-Astros. Is there anything?
I am. I mean, grew up in the Northwest, got all the Mariners games, so sadly, I'd say I'm probably a Mariners fan. Rangers second. But yeah, Astros, I don't know. I think that's going to be a while before that blemish kind of washes away. I think probably until all the guys who did participate are off the team.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably be getting a lot of hate mail in the days to come. Not in the days to come because the mail doesn't work that fast anymore, so I've been told. But in the weeks and months to come. But most of it will be from Ross, Ross, our good friend who is pro cheating. Anyhow, we'll talk about that later. Ross, we can have it out in my backyard once the coronavirus is over, and we're willing to get close to one another in a good old-fashioned Texas, what do you call them, wrestling match.
Yeah, a little wrestling match.
Moving on from the baseball, we're going to talk about the bar industry, because Jimmy has been here at Jazz Texas since the very beginning, along with a number of our staff. We have a terrific family here, and you've probably been hearing a lot about the bar industry and how it's been changing, and how you know, styrofoam cups and little plastic containers and everything. But I want to talk about how the bar industry has been changing as far as the actual craft itself and the types of drinks that you guys used to make versus the types of drinks that you guys make today. So like walk me through an average Saturday night now.
I mean, honestly, the craft doesn't change so much. We're still, you know, making things with the utmost conviction to, you know, try and, you know, make everybody happy and give them something that, you know, something memorable. It does change a little bit. I think just the aspect of not getting to interact with guests anymore. I know for myself, I really miss that. I mean, I suppose I'm a little more introverted, and that is something that's always kind of helped me come out of my shell a little bit. And yeah, I mean, any given week, you know, I'd have a conversation with, you know, 100 new people, you know, all different walks of life. And so that's something that, you know, I really miss. But as far as the rest of it goes, I mean, our job doesn't change that much. I do love getting back in here and, you know, seeing everybody. And one thing about being behind a bar, it kind of always reminded me of like a dugout atmosphere. You know, you know, we're all kind of oriented towards, you know, one goal, but we're all also back there being idiots, you know.
Is that why we don't have lids on our trash cans, though? Is because you think of it like a dugout and you don't want to be the cheater that puts that bangs the, because I never heard any trash can lid noise back there.
And you never will. It's okay. Yeah.
I'm assuming it's more of a convenience thing and a sanitary thing, but it could relate to baseball. Perhaps.
Yeah, but no, I mean, our job doesn't change a ton. I mean, all these you know, new regulations that are talking about sanitation stuff and cleanliness. I mean, that was stuff we were doing anyway. You know, so for the most part, it's just kind of business as usual, and, you know, all of us bartenders trying to come together and come to a consensus on, you know, how we want to serve something or what cocktails we want to do that's going to be most, you know, it's going to appeal to the masses. And so, I don't know, it's fun to be here and, you know, mostly doing the same thing, just don't get the interaction, which I dearly miss all of our regulars and everything like that. But, you know, a lot of it's the same job.
Of all the regulars that you miss the most, and that used to be here the most often, how many, who do you miss the least?
Oh, boy.
A couple come to my mind, but I'd like to hear.
Yeah, a couple come to my mind, but I don't think I should say.
Well, we're fresh out of time, ladies and gentlemen, for this interview. Well, I really appreciate you, Jimmy, and the whole staff and all you guys are doing behind the bar to not just settle for, you know, some booze in a plastic cup, which is what it's so easy to just do that. Say, well, let's throw in the towel and put some, you know, some vodka and some orange juice in a styrofoam cup and send it on out there to the house. But, you know, you guys have been doing a great job of trying to figure out how can we still make the best cocktails possible. And we've heard from so many of our guests that have said, you know, we've gotten the cocktail kits and it's amazing. I could never make this at home. And believe me, folks, none of those cocktails were made by me. And if you ever do get like a really bad one, it probably was. But the truth is that our best cocktails were made by these guys, and we're so appreciative of our bar staff. And I haven't even mentioned yet, but today, well, this is Jimmy's birthday week. So, you know, wish happy birthday to Jimmy. Make sure, and we're going to give him a lot of spankings after the...
Just don't make me dance again. Don't.
Hey, I mean, you know, we're still kids, you know? So we're going to give him all the birthday spankings and everything. Make sure and stop by Jazz Texas and try and give Jimmy a birthday spanking and see what happens to you when you try and get in the front door. You'll probably never make it, but if you do, free margarita, right?
Sure, yeah, that'll work.
All right, Jimmy. Anything else you'd like to say about the Astros?
I don't think you want to get me going, no.
Let's circle back. No, tell me. I mean, just go off for a minute, if you would. Because you've gone off, and, you know, to me personally, but tell me about the guys that, you know, came back out of retirement just to try and...
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, I mean, they're guys that, I mean, that cheating directly led to their retirement in the sense that, they're either coming back from an injury or maybe, working their way back up from the minors. And they have a start against the Astros trying to, get their footing in the league again, and just get absolutely shelled. And then, their mindset is, well, I guess I don't got it anymore. It's time to hang them up. It's cut a couple guys' careers short. It's whether it's messing with their money, but it's also something that they've been doing for, a game they've been playing 30, 35 years, and it prematurely ends because somebody else is cheating. It's awful. It's in so many aspects.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Kawhi Leonard should have never signed with the Astros. That's all I can say about it. But Jimmy, thank you for being on the program today.
Thank you for having me.
All right. That's Jimmy, everybody. Wish him happy birthday. Send him a message. Thank you for being on the program, Jim. All right, well, getting on with the music now, we'd like to do a tune that we wrote about 6 weeks ago. It's called The Sunny Slopes of Long Ago. Thank you very much, everybody. That's an original tune called The Sunny Slopes of Long Ago. This next tune comes by special request. We had a request for a Billie Holiday tune, and this is one of Billie Holiday's most famous versions of a tune that she sang a long, long time ago. And this request comes from Jessica Zients.
Science!
Thank you, Jessica, for the request. Hope you enjoy this rendition. That's Body and Soul. Thank you, Jessica Zients, for the request. This next tune comes from the same era. This is a tune that was written by George Gershwin a long time ago, called But Not For Me. And we're going to feature Daniel Durham over there on the bass on this number, one of my favorite tunes of all time. Thank you for tuning in on this Saturday night to the Doc Watkins Show. We're so glad y'all are with us, and we hope you enjoy this next tune. Here goes. That's But Not For Me by George Gershwin, Daniel Durham on the bass, Brandon Guerra on the drums. Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of year again. We're all stuck inside. We're stuck down here at this jazz club all by our lonesomes on a Saturday night, wishing you were here with us, trying to find things to do to occupy our time. Thankfully, we have lots of things behind the bar to do that so we don't get too bored down here. Trust me, we're doing just fine. But we'd love to have you here, but I know you're stuck in your houses and maybe you don't have the same luxuries that we do down here at JazzTexas. So nevertheless, we've decided to create a new game for you to play along right from the comfort of your own boudoir to keep you occupied during these times. So without further ado, let us play the board game. Well, you know how the board game works. We like to pick two famous people or animals or things, both of whom are very boring, compare and contrast the two, and then by the end of the game, I get to decide who's the biggest bore. So, tonight on the board game, who's more boring? Diesel Fuel or Vin Diesel? Well, on the one hand, diesel fuel is any liquid fuel used in diesel engines whose fuel ignition takes place without any spark as a result of compression in the inlet air mixture and then injection of fuel. Diesel fuel also happens to be the #1 fuel of choice of arrogant douchebags and BMWs. Today's diesel engines can last extremely long on the road and go anywhere from 400 to 800 miles on a single tank of gas, which means you could drive from San Antonio to El Paso on a single tank of gas. But then again, why would anyone want to go to El Paso? Despite a common misconception, diesel fuel is not that dirty at all, and any diesel engine from 2000 or later is much cleaner. Also not as dirty as they were before 2007, adult film stars. On the other hand, Vin Diesel is an American actor and screenwriter known for his appearances in the Fast and the Furious movie franchise and nothing else, really. When Vin Diesel was a kid, he would watch the same movie dozens of times, whereas as an adult, I wouldn't watch a Vin Diesel movie once. After having kids, Vin Diesel realized that they can't see any of his movies because they're not family friendly. Then again, I'm over 18, but I can't see any Vin Diesel movie because they all suck. According to Vin Diesel, he hangs out a lot with bodybuilders, which probably explains where he gets his acting talent. In a recent interview, Vin Diesel says he turned down $20 million for a movie he did not want to be in, as opposed to me, who turned down a $9 movie ticket for a Vin Diesel movie I did not want to see. Well, frankly, it's a tough call, ladies and gentlemen, but if I had to choose who's the biggest bore, Diesel Fuel or Vin Diesel, the correct answer is Vin Diesel. And thanks for playing the board game. All right, well, moving along with the music here, we'd like to play a tune for you now, one of our favorites from long ago, an old New Orleans tune as originally sung and played by Louis Armstrong. Here is What a Wonderful World. And this is a great tune to dance to, by the way. If you're in your homes, you know, if you were to come out to a restaurant nowadays, they wouldn't let you dance and get close and everything, but you can definitely dance in your own living room, and you can dance and do lots of other fun things in your own bedroom. Make sure and lock the door if you have small children. So, what a wonderful world. Here we go. What a wonderful world. We have time for just one more for you, ladies and gentlemen. Before we go, I'd like to say thank you once again to our production crew, Caitlin Hill on the audio, and on the video production, Mr. Chris Science with Wizard Broadcasting. Thanks, guys. Also, Daniel Durham on the bass and Brandon Guerra on the drums. It's been a great Saturday night hanging out with y'all, and many of you have asked how you can support Jazz Texas during these times. If you liked what you heard tonight, we hope you'll consider donating. We have a donate link in the description on the link, on the Facebook link or the YouTube link or wherever you're watching. A link is not far by. That makes it easier for you to help Jazz Texas during these times. We also have our kitchen and our bar that are open. We've got the whole staff working back there, working hard day and night to provide great beverages and great food for you. So we hope you will consider ordering from us via our curbside or delivery program. And we'd like to leave you with one final tune, and we'd like to send this one out to our good buddy, Pierre Poiret. You probably remember Pierre from New Orleans night here at Jazz Texas every Friday night. And Pierre, this one's for you. We miss you, buddy. We hope to see you soon. This is When the Saints Go Marching In. stop, won't stop live streaming, y'all. Join us again next week. We'll be back once again. How about it for Brandon Guerra on the drums, Daniel Durham on the bass, Caitlin Hill on the audio, Jimmy on the bartending and the baseball opinions with the Astros, which you should take very seriously. Ross, I hope you watch this and reconsider your thoughts. And Chris Science with Wizard Broadcasting. Thanks again to our sponsor, KRTU. We'll see y'all on Tuesday night. Stick around. Thank you and good night.